Hello, everyone. My name is Nairy AbdElShafy, and I'm very happy to be here today. Um, I did a very intensive master's program that was for 9 months, so I always think of my thesis as my baby, literally. I did a program on oral history at the University of Columbia. Um, what makes this program unique is that it's a one-year program, very intensive and very practical. So we did a lot of practical work. And one idea of this program, because oral history in its modern form is kind of a new field, was to help us learn how to teach oral history when we get back home. What is oral history? Oral history is a way to document history through personal experiences of individuals and through narratives. So we do a lot of interviews to record stories. This is one project that I worked on before I went on the program. Trying to document stories of Nubians and their transition. It was very difficult for me to do it. I had a lot of challenges in terms of collecting information, working with the information that I had. And I went to the program with all these questions in my mind, and I got a lot of answers and support because the program talked a lot about how to approach narrators, how to document their stories, how to work through the information that we have, and how to produce the stories in different forms. So my thesis work, research work, was in Puerto Rico. In 2017, Puerto Rico experienced a hurricane that was a Category 5 hurricane called Hurricane Maria. And my work was mostly documenting stories of Puerto Ricans about their coping mechanisms and how they went back through life after the hurricane. The reason I did this was because I was very curious because we haven't really experienced any natural disasters in Egypt, aside from the earthquake in the early 90s, when I was very, very young then. And I was really curious to see how people cope. And so my interviews were mostly about individuals' lives before the hurricane experience, and how they're moving forward now after the hurricane. This is my thesis, this is my baby. So my thesis came out, I've worked as an educator for the bigger part of my life. So my thesis came out in the form of a manual of activities inspired by the stories I collected to help people find their inner strength, independent of the reason of why, whatever experience they've gone through. So I tried to take out from the stories relating also to my own experiences after the revolution about how we can stay motivated and move on after there's a big systemic change around us or natural disaster. We also did an interactive exhibit with our work. So this was an exhibit towards the end of the program where I worked with a partner of mine on trying to show how people cope and how they transform through arts to heal after traumatic experiences. So my colleague was working with survivors of sexual violence, and I worked with Puerto Rican stories. These are 3 art pieces that I presented about. The first one is on the hurricane, and then the second one was you had to move the pages to see how people could transform, and it contained quotes of their life and how arts inspired them to cope. And the last one was a collage of different artists and musicians that I had pictures of. You can't really see it very clearly, but they look nicer in real life. I did the whole program because I've tried to do oral history before that. It was very difficult. But now I'm teaching oral history, and I'm very happy about this. So I started a workshop in October, a couple of weeks ago, at the Cairo Institute of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And I'm trying in a couple of months to help people learn how to figure out a project that they want to document, how to collect stories, sorry, I didn't look that way at all. And how to basically present an oral history project, and trying to answer all the questions that I had before that were very challenging for me. And I'm hoping to create a space to archive Egyptian narratives that are recorded. So currently I'm working with 17 people, and we're hopefully doing another workshop in the spring in Alexandria. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.